Well, hello everyone. My name is Itstyrenee and welcome back to my channel. What I'm about to say is a little bit complicated, but I just want you to stick with me here, okay? This video had been on my mind for quite some time now, but it just now came to me too. Listen. When I make videos, I like to plan them out in advance. Stick with me now. So for some of you who might not know, Riku and Naminé are my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts, together and separately. Now when it comes to people's favorite pairs, they will set up an event on Twitter where you can share your crafts within the prompts related to the ship for a week, whether it's fan fiction, art, merch, anything you can think of. So for this year, I decided to make a video on why I love them, the same way I did with Sora and Kairi, which you can check out if you haven't yet. And I wanted to post the video on November 11th. And what happened? I forgot. I did. However, I did give them some love by, just posting a pic on Twitter and then just wishing more of their interactions in the next era of Kingdom Hearts. So while it is still November, I actually want to talk to you guys about why I believe these two are the best pair in Kingdom Hearts, also known as Riku Nami. Now, before we get into the video, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Disclaimer, you might hear some air circulation. Hopefully it isn't too loud, but if you do, it's a heater. I'm cold, so I just want to be warm while doing this video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, before I list off why I think they are the best, I will say that I started shipping these two in 2020 when I joined Twitter and we had no choice but to be at home all the time. Shipping fictional characters wasn't really something I did when I was younger, but that changed for me after Remind came out. Now, I will say they've had scenes where it's valid to ship them, but it was the ending scene of Kingdom Hearts 3 that really opened up my eyes for not only me but for a lot of other people to like them together. For some reason, a lot of people seem to think that it was just this brand new thing with the ending, and I'm just here to basically debunk that and highlight some amazing scenes they've had before this game. So let me go ahead and explain that to you. Now, some may say that opposites attract. Although I do believe that is true, I also believe you can grow a connection with someone who you have a lot in common with. For starters, these two come off as like very calm and collective with a little bit of shyness, but what we've seen them experience is nothing but chaos. They've both dealt with people who've manipulated them for their own benefit. Riku, he was manipulated by Maleficent into turning against Sora and helped gather the girls who were believed to be the 7 princesses of Heart for what was believed to be Kingdom Hearts and Hollow Bastion at the time. While Naminé, she was manipulated by Marluxia into tampering with Sora's memories for her to obtain her freedom. I'm not really too sure what Riku would have gotten out of accomplishing his goal with Maleficent, because if Sora were to lose against him and Maleficent, then what? Because technically you lost both of your best friends just for Kingdom Hearts. Meanwhile, you were being suspicious of Maleficent's intentions, so I mean, you can sit here and say like, oh, she was providing him a place to stay, but he had that back at the island, so then what? Anyways, but something that really stands out to me is their common feeling of low self-esteem within themselves. Riku felt ashamed for falling into the darkness, and he wanted to isolate himself from Sora and Kairi so they wouldn't end up seeing how he came out throughout that year of the three of them being separated. And Naminé, not only she didn't believe that she was redeemable with all the things she did with Sora's memories, but she didn't believe that she would be anything more than Kairi's shadow. She also expressed her belief that she doesn't believe that she has or she is existing in anyone's heart. But she was proven wrong when we see Riku's station in Remind, which really adds more context to their ending scene that they shared in 3. And I guarantee you, you cannot convince me that her feelings were hurt when people called her a witch. It hurt my feelings, so I know it hurt my babies. Anyways, I feel like there are themes with the main ships. For example, like with Sora and Kairi, it's centered around being separated from one another. That's like their main theme there of trying to stick together, but something's always tearing them apart. Although Roxas and Xion, they kind of have the same issue. It's more so being of dealing with identity crisis. But for Riku and Naminé, I feel like it's more so about self-esteem and self-love, as we can see that they struggle in believing their worth here and there. And I'm not saying that people can't struggle with like long distance or identity crisis, but people can relate more with low self-esteem and loving yourself. It's easier said than done when it comes to believing your worth, but I'm glad they had reminders of their worth with other characters that were around them. We really don't see a lot of scenes with them together, but when they first met in Chain of Memories to the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, we see them working together and bringing Sora back without anything crazy happening to him or his memories. Naminé's trying to make up for the things she did in Chain of Memories, and Riku, he's on this road to redemption and just wanting to set things right within himself while making sure that Sora is taken care of as well. Now in 358 over 2 days, we see them talking about the progress of Sora waking up and breaking down this whole thing with Roxas and Xion. Now in 2, we see their individual interactions with Roxas before we transition into Sora's part of the story. So for Naminé, she was explaining to him about his livelihood while Riku literally just like stole this man's money. We're not gonna talk about that. Not only we see their care for Sora, but care for one another. Can we just talk about for a quick second how Riku spared Naminé's life after Diz ordered him to eliminate her? Can we just talk about that? That is just and y'all don't believe this is real. Anyways, now I won't spoil anything for those who plan on reading the light novels, but the light novels add so much more to the relationship. And I know there might be someone watching this video not understanding why people would ship these two together. And although the games have cute moments, the books really expand on the games that, we've seen in the games, but there's really more added to it. I will say with them meeting in the Chain of Memories light novel, there was so much more added to their agreement in Naminé looking after Sora. But when you read it, it'll make you just want to root for them even more. I promise. I'm still reading the books, but I'm enjoying with what I'm reading so far. And I can't wait to see what more has been added to their dynamic in the books. As far as their scene in Kingdom Hearts 3, a lot of people can argue that Riku really didn't care for Naminé until his replica asked to look after her. Now, my question is was that request like in a character files book or something? Because I watched that cutscene and I was like, where do y'all get that? I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I'm just like, let me know if there's any other source outside of the light novels that explain that he wanted him to look after her and stuff. Anyways, Sora, who is such a sweetheart, also gave reassurance that people were missing Naminé while they were in the final world together. He mentioned him, Donald, Goofy, Kairi, Roxas, and quote-unquote a special someone. Now I just wonder who that special someone is. And I do want to bring up the fact of how peaceful this relationship really gives off despite the problems that they were dealing with. Their feelings for one another isn't obvious compared to like Sora and Kairi, or heck, even like Roxas and Xion. When these pairs are separated, both parties are devastated, and they wish to reunite with one another, but a reunion is not a concern of Riku and Naminé, so the audience isn't stressed out about these two on when will they see each other again and what will happen that will make them split up again. I mean, that was like a one-time situation with like Roxas and Shion, but obviously for Sora and Kairi, it's happened too many times to count, and hopefully that's not the case with Riku and Naminé. Like, on a bad note, if they are separated, it's because they need to get work done and not because something bad happened between these two. Now, looking at the material from both the games and the books, it's really obvious that this isn't a love at first sight kind of relationship. We get to see this slowly blossom throughout the course of the Xehanort saga, and I can only hope that we get to see more interactions with these two in the next saga, now that, you know, Naminé is her own person and Riku is working on bringing Sora back home. And I really think Naminé can help too, since, you know, she has her own powers. I really don't want her to like just be given a Keyblade and, you know, help. I want her to use her own powers, but that's another story within itself. It would be good to see these two take a break from just chaos, and this would be like a cute subplot, a cute subplot where these two like grow on their friendship, and maybe it might turn into something more while they just enjoy each other's company and just be happy, because they really, really deserve it. It's their world. We just living in it. But anyways, this is actually the conclusion of today's video. What are your personal thoughts on Riku and Naminé's dynamic? Do you like them together? Do you not like them together? If so, feel free to share in the comments below so we can have a discussion about it. And what would you like to see from these two in the next phase of Kingdom Hearts? Whether it's their dynamic together or just their individual characters growing into this next era. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on all social media platforms. I also got Tumblr too, so I'm definitely going to add that to the description box, and make sure y'all follow me on there. I do follow back. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.